See, sign. In the same pattern Eve did, he also has done to the church, pervert her over. He carried out his plans today through his hybrid church, his modern Eden that we have today. We're living in a scientific Eden. Satan's Eden. A scientific Eden. If you want to turn to it now, Isaiah 14:12, I'll quote it to you if you want, 12 and 14. Satan said in his own self, I will exalt myself above the Most High. He'll have a kingdom that even the sons of God would worship him. And that's just exactly what he's done. He's done it through church, religion. Like he started in the beginning, religion. He's done it. Also, as the prophet Paul seen in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, he heads up in his great scientific Eden, in this day, in scientific, in education, and civilization, and has made himself and will finally head up in the ecumenical council where all churches will have to bow to him. And see what it is? It's that spirit of delusion working among the people, sons of God which are made in the image of God, and daughters of man which is made in the image of man, has taken them under falsehood like he did Eve, and has formed himself through his own gimmicks of science and education and culture till he's got himself a modern, scientific, death Eden, where God by his word spoke, and he had an Eden without death. No science, no education like we have today, or no civilization. You see it now? Understand it? See? Now he's got his Eden. Look, all the churches worship him. The 2 Thessalonians church said, that man who calls himself God, sitting in the temple of God, and all upon the earth shall bow down and worship him, whose names were not written in the Lamb's book of life before the foundation of the earth. See? It's a modern Eden. Now what's he done himself? He's moving himself in Rome. His final great Eden place. You see what the Pope come over here the other day? Do you notice all them 13s that happened then? He spoke 13 words, had 13 taken communion, spoke in Yankee Stadium, which is 13. Everything was 13, and our nation's number is 13. Here's the 13th chapter of Revelation, 13 stripes, 13 stars, 13 bars, 13 numbers on the coins, 13 stars on the coin. Everything's 13, and a woman. Here comes the Pope, the head to the woman, the false Antichrist to the false bride of science, which our world has, our American Eastern world here, Western world, has led the world in science, comes to her in his scientific church, and now the whole Protestants is bowing to him. On 13. See? Everything is a 13. Our whole nation, everything else is 13. A woman's world. See? Here we are. We got it. It turned into a woman's world, the Garden of Eden. But it'll be God's world someday. Notice now. Also, these prophets and things has foretold it. And now all again has come like it was before God moved upon the earth. It's become a spiritual chaos. Certainly it has. Here, notice the second Eden is tied closely to the first to deceive almost to take the elected. Notice, now that I'm going to compare here just a few minutes, and I'm going to have to stop because it's 11 o'clock. And so, listen, these two Edens, how this Eden has tried to type, just like Satan did at the beginning to Eve in the real Eden, the first Eden. Just watch them type together now. See, we got, now everybody understand clearly, a scientific Eden we're living in. See? Now, it wasn't God's Eden. God's Eden doesn't come by science, education, culture. It comes by the Word. See? Calling all these things as though they were not. Notice, in the Garden of Eden, let's just compare them a little. Now notice, the man and his wife, head of in the Garden of Eden, the pair was naked and didn't know it. Is that right? In God's Eden, the pair was naked and didn't know it. Now, they are naked again and don't know it. Revelation 3, the lady see in church age, because thou art naked, miserable, poor, wretched, blind, and don't know it. Now in God's Eden, they were naked and didn't know it. And now in Satan's Eden, by science and education, they're naked again and don't know it. What a perversion. Look at today. Look at man trying to wear his wife's underneath clothes. And she's trying to wear his clothes. And he's trying to let his hair grow like hers, and she's cutting hers off like his. Oh, my. Man trying to be women, women trying to be man. A perversion. That's the same thing the church is doing. Same thing, the Laodicean age. Notice, the reason that they didn't know they were naked in the beginning, there was a Holy Spirit veiled them from nakedness. They didn't know it. The Holy Spirit was over their eyes. They seen nothing but their brother and sister. Laws. They didn't know they were naked. Holy Spirit. Now, the spirit of unholiness, uncleanliness, and lust has veiled them. Education, science. Why, it's scientific. Wear shorts, it's cooler. The Indians teach you better than that. They wrap up in a blanket to be air conditioned, see, and put on them. See, education has absolutely come back to a time, the very thing that they think that brought them to culture and civilization has put them back in ignorance again. Worse than they was in the first place.